All right, and we're here joined by head wrestling coach, Coach James Hicks. Coach, getting things going to start the season here.
Yes, sir.
Just had your first tournament, but before the tournament started, the preseason national polls came out. You guys were number 9, perennially usually kind of start off there, top 10 area.
Right.
Talk about that. Start there.
It was cool to finally be ranked pretty high in the preseason poll. Typically we're receiving the votes or we're ranked around 20th or lower, and then we'll end up finishing like top 10 or something like
really
that.
Make that push in the tournament.
Right. So in the past we've relished in the fact that we always feel underrated in the preseason, and just kind of that's fueled us a little bit. So it's gonna be cool to see how we respond to actually being ranked pretty high in the preseason, and see if we can keep our fire going. But yeah, it's nice to get that recognition. We did bring back 3 All-Americans, so I was expecting it. We have a bunch of qualifiers on the team, so it's nice to be there. We just have to come up with a new game plan.
And that brings me to my next point. You start the year off with 8 guys in the national polls.
Right.
Really headlined by your All-Americans, Victor Guzman, Jared Den, and Sammy Shires will be at full tilt this year.
Yeah, so, I've been here 10 seasons, and there's been a few times we've brought back 3 All-Americans, but there hasn't been many. So it's exciting times, and all those guys are a little longer in the tooth, seniors, juniors, and, we just kind of want to send them off right and take advantage of, the window while we have, 3 guys like that on the team. Hopefully the other guys can step up and we can send those guys off right this year.
Now, what do guys like that do for your program when they come in the room, and then just their leadership qualities for you guys?
Well, they set the example. They're the mark. I'm always telling everybody else that, so I'm the type of guy, when you're doing what you're supposed to do, I'm going to put you up on that pedestal to be, to set an example for the other guys to look up to. And all those guys live up to that. So that's the cool thing about our program. When you got guys like that, there's not very much for me to do in the way of trying to teach guys how you're supposed to train and how you're supposed to go about your business every day. Those guys are right there, and they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're being vocal about it, and that helps me out a lot. So happy to have those guys.
To go along with all your returners, I know you brought in a bunch of new guys. Talk about some of the new guys that you're keen on this year.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited about our freshmen. We went out of state a little bit, but we really honed in on the in-state guys for our freshman group, and they've been working hard. They worked hard all preseason. Wasn't really much of a drop-off in terms of effort and just working hard and intensity in the practice room. So then this past weekend, we got to see those guys compete, and it showed on the mat. So we're really excited about those guys, and I was really proud of how they competed this past weekend as well.
You just brought up last weekend. Talk about some of the highlights from last weekend, and then just how important, one of those events, going to these opens, are to kind of set the tone before dual season.
Yeah, I don't put a lot of stock into just kind of going winning in the open. It's in opens. For me, it's all about getting mat time. Let's see what we need to work on. Get out there, have some fun, scrap, get into some battles, and push yourself, test yourself, and then we can come back and see what we have to work on. So in terms of that, I thought we did very well. A couple guys had some breakthroughs on some things they've been working on. Anthony Pyron sticks out, like he's been working on his offense for years now, seems like. And then this past weekend, he was out there attacking, getting takedowns, falling people with takedowns. So it was nice to see him take that next step and improve in the area he's been working so hard on. Bobby Estrada, he had some big wins this weekend. It just was nice to see him grow and how his confidence has grown since he was a freshman. So that was nice to see, as well as like I said, the freshmen, just seeing how they compete for the first time and seeing where they're at, and helping us understand what we need to start working on and stuff.
Well, Coach, you said earlier you're entering your 10th season. Kind of looking back at where you inherited the program from, what are you most proud of, in your time here?
Just getting those well-rounded student athletes, just having above a 3.0 every year, just being right there, having that GPA, being in the top 5 academically, and just also building a culture here. It took a while to kind of get going with the study culture, but eventually we got got some of the right guys in, and we was able to build a culture of guys doing what they're supposed to do, going to class, wrestling hard every single day, working hard in every aspect of their lives. So that's what the vision was, and we're just kind of scratching the surface on that in year 10. So a testament to how much work it takes, how much time it takes to do it right. But I feel like we still have a long way to go too as a program. We eventually want to win a national championship. So we've gotten as high as 5th, and we want to keep working towards that ultimate goal.
Yeah, and you talked about the ultimate goal there. What do you think the ceiling is for this team? How far do you think this team can go?
Man, we got 3 returning All-Americans. We brought back, 7 guys that have been to the national tournament before. So sky's the limit. Like I definitely think this is a team that can bring home our first trophy from the national tournament. If we do our jobs right, the highest ceiling is a national title for this team. They can do it. If guys step up, the guys that have been to the tournament, if they make that next step, get on the podium, our guys that have already been on the podium make the next step and make the finals, win national championships, we have a team that can definitely get a trophy and contend for a national title, I think.
We've talked about some of the headliners. You got 2 guys in the same weight class, 141, Jared Denton, who starting the year #1, was an All-American, 5th place finish, and then also Sammy Shires, who was a 2-time All-American at 133. What does just a duo like that in the same weight class do for you guys?
Well, especially in dual season, it just gives us a lot of flexibility. Those guys were going to compete every day and push each other every day in the practice room for the mat time at the weight class. So that helps everybody around that weight get better. But as a team in duels and things like that, it gives us a lot of flexibility to move guys around. I've always been a proponent of just getting the best guys you can get on your team. We start wrestling these duels. We're just trying to put the best guys out there however we can. So having 2 guys at 41 that could move up, and then having a 49 that could move up and help you win a dual meet, that's exciting. It's exciting trying to figure that out as well. Like it's the fun part of being a coach sometimes. So
you mentioned your 49 and Victor Guzman, who All-American. Talk about Victor and what he's done for your program.
Yeah, he's just been like when we lost Cole Smith, he kind of stepped in there. He's just been a rock for us, a steady presence, like the guy you can look to, the young guys can look to for certain things and what you're supposed to be doing. And he's one of those guys that brings it every day, So we love those guys. Our program is built on those guys. We got the Carter Coxes, you got the Cole Smiths, those type of guys like Sean Wins, from back in the day. But our program, we built this culture on the backs of those kind of guys. So he fits right in that mold of those guys, and that's why we've been able to continue to grow and keep it going with guys like that.
I'd be remiss if I also didn't mention, Rocco Horvath and Tyler Rowland, some guys that have been around the program, been in some championships and tournament stuff.
Right.
Talk about their leadership qualities.
Yeah, Rock, we do these things, shout out cards at study hall. So just last night, he got a shout out card from somebody saying just thanks Rock for being a good teammate and a good person, So when I heard that last night at study hall, that kind of hit, because he is, model teammate, model dude, involved on campus, super brainiac, just the kind of kid you just want, right? 2-time conference champ. So Tyler Rowland, same type of guy. He's the old man on the team, So those guys are the guys you just want to see do well. They fit what we do so well and fit the type of people we want so well, and they work hard every day over here in that back corner. So we just want to see those guys do well. Those guys are setting examples as well and doing things for us that are much needed, So I know they're both working their butts off, and we're hoping to get it done this year with both those guys for sure.
Coach, the Mid-South Conference is always a grind. Once you get into that back half of January, February, and into the tournament, the national tournament.
Yeah, for sure.
Talk about the conference a little bit. What do you know?
We're deep as usual. Teams are pretty tight, pretty close. Those dual meets are going to be exciting, and we can't wait to get in there and get after it. You know, I just love competing against these guys every single year, seeing how we stack up against them, figuring out how we could beat them. You know, and you know, that part of the season is always fun. You know, so I think we look forward to it. We train for that postseason run. And I think our guys are definitely excited about seeing what we can do this year. They want another conference championship. And, you know, we know what it takes to get it. And that's what we're planning on doing this year.
Perfect, Coach. Thank you for the time today.
All right, no problem, big dog. Thanks.